Weather with our chief meteorologist Dan Cianca. Dan, we've been talking about big waves. There was some pretty big waves out by Waimea Bay, but here at home you've been talking about king tides.
Well, yeah, and so the extra higher tides right now going on. Plus, we've had some swells coming in on top of that, which makes for extra big seeming waves here for us, and the potential for that to continue as well here into tomorrow. Here is a live look from Domenico's. If you look closely, you can probably see it looks a little windy. Just looking at this camera, it's moving around a bit. The boats are moving around a bit. The water, dare I say, looks agitated tonight. So the wind's still blowing this evening. We talked about that a bit at the beginning of our show tonight, and we are going to talk about what you can expect in the future wind-wise. But I do want to mention also, in relation to those king tides, we still have a coastal flood advisory in place until 3 p.m. tomorrow. So high tide tonight at around midnight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll see another high tide as we approach the midday hour as well, which we'll continue to see these higher tidal cycles. So what's happening right now is that the Earth is at its closest pass to the sun in its orbit. And it actually happened a couple weeks ago. But on top of that, the moon is also in between the Earth and the sun. So you have the sun's gravity plus the moon's gravity, both pulling on our tides, our ocean. So that creates an extra high tide and an extra low tide. I've seen plenty of pictures of folks in Santa Cruz just way out there on the sandstone flats that have been, you know, showing up because the tide's so low, doing some tide pooling. Just keep in mind, once those tides come in, they can block off your exit if it's a stairway back up the cliff or something to that effect. So make sure you're headed out of there in time so you don't get caught off guard. In the meantime, during the high tides, with the potential for some flooding, higher waters in the sloughs and lagoons and things like that. The National Weather Service also issued a new beach hazard statement that actually goes into effect tomorrow afternoon, but I wanted to just put it with this graphic. We will have some forerunning long period swells starting to come in, which will increase the risk of rip currents and sneaker waves late tomorrow into Tuesday. So another thing to be aware of if you're going to be near the water. Temperatures right now, well, we've cooled off in some spots, down to 44 this hour in Watsonville. Mid-50s, though, still in Salinas with the breeze blowing. The winds keep the inversions from developing. The air mass is pretty chilly, and if the winds were to completely shut off, it would get cold in a hurry. But with the wind continuing to mix up the inversions, it might stay mild in some cases overnight. If it does calm down in your neighborhood, it's going to get cold pretty fast, though. We're looking at temperatures even on the coast getting down into the 30s. Otherwise, mostly clear skies tonight. Northerly winds will continue through the overnight hours as we can see this northerly flow. You can see the clouds moving from north to south here as cold air just kind of pushes in from the Pacific Northwest down into California and the Great Basin. And that's going to continue into tomorrow. Then slowly modify. This air mass will warm up over the next couple of days. In the meantime, I've zoomed in here. I'm showing you our futurecast winds through the overnight hours, and I'm focusing on Santa Cruz County. It will be breezy on and off elsewhere as well, but up in the mountains. But I wanted the detail on this. So this is 1 a.m. and I want you to notice a couple things here. The highest winds are along the ridges here of the top Santa Cruz Mountains here. This whole stretch from like Ben Lomond Mountain down to Bonnie Dune as well. That's where we see some of the higher winds. Winds have also been gusting down into the valley there in the Santa Clara Valley. It's been windy there all day long, and it's continuing tonight. Now, what's interesting is it looks like we will see some higher wind speeds get into the lower elevations between around 2 and 5 a.m. on the north side of the bay. So we're talking Aptos, Dave Valley, Soquel, Capitola, Live Oak, Santa Cruz. Areas that haven't been super windy at times today may get some stronger wind gusts overnight. And as I mentioned, these northeasterly winds pushing down in a different direction than the winds we've been seeing recently. So I think we could see some isolated tree damage in these areas. So just keep that in mind overnight. You may see some power outages. Winds will start to die down tomorrow afternoon for most locations, okay? And otherwise, sunny skies tomorrow. Just a cool air mass in place. 58, your high in Santa Cruz, 58 in Capitola, mid-50s in the valleys, in the mountains, and low 50s up in the higher elevations. East shore of the bay topping out in the upper 50s tomorrow. 56 are a cool spot up there in Morgan Hill. Salinas rounding out at 60. Same in Fogtown, USA there, Marina. Monterey 59, 60 in Seaside tomorrow. Upper 50s to the Points. And then farther south, we'll see highs in the upper 50s for the most part. Some of our higher valleys like the Chelan Valley there in Parkfield, high of 52, and the Pinnacles on the cool side as well, 53. But we'll warm up over the next couple of days. In fact, our highs should return to above normal levels by Wednesday and then stay that way into the weekend. So warmer days ahead, no rain in the next 6 days, but Sunday we are watching. There is a weak weather system that's going to make an approach, which could bring some rain. And beyond that, maybe every other couple days, we'll probably see some other systems making their approach as the pattern starts to break back down as well. Inland areas for the next couple of nights, still some cold temperatures. Again, we're going to warm things back up for you, though, for your highs as we head through the end of the week.
All right, thanks so much.